Hello, everyone. Welcome to Silver ALR final race of the season and of season 9. Of course, next season on F1 2025 will be in our 10th season of Silver and Bronze. That's incredible, isn't it? Anyway, that is next season. Today is about Silver, and today is about who's going to get that final top 3 place and potentially going up into gold next season. And also, the Constructors' Championship is on the line as well, and it is one of only, I think for Sauber, it's only one championship that they're not going to win this season. It's absolutely incredible. It really is indeed. That for Kick Sauber, they have been absolutely dominant in every aspect of the word. It's been pretty impressive indeed. And I've just broke my spreadsheet. Well, that's no good. Oh dear. Right. Anyway, let's go for the drivers and constructors. We are slightly early. Then is of course Smithy is keen to get on it, and why shouldn't he be? We're still waiting for one driver, which is May Runoff, who unfortunately did run off last night, but hopefully he's here tonight then. So, Silver, Flippy, of course, what an incredible run of results. And I think the Flippy, if he wins, because I'm sure last week, actually, he equaled Glock's number of wins in a row, which is absolutely incredible stuff indeed. Where is it? So, yeah, Flippy has actually got 6 wins in a row, which I think actually Glock only had 5. So, Flippy's already got the most wins in a row and could extend that as well to 7 tonight. That's absolutely phenomenal. As we mentioned already, Flippy has not lost a Grand Prix since the British Grand Prix, not lost a Grand Prix on track since since the Canadian Grand Prix. That's absolutely ridiculous. But yes, Flippy then leads the championship. Well, he's already won the championship. Flippy is the 9th ever silver champion. So congratulations to Flippy. Delando was confirmed in 2nd position as well there. So Delando, once again, I keep saying this, the bridesmaid, never the bride, sadly for Delando, but that's his 2nd runner-up spot and his 3rd. That's his 2nd time as a runner-up spot, and that's the 3rd time that he's finished in the top 3 in silver for Delando. It's been fantastic. Nameless not racing tonight, which means that there's an opening for Jay Hings to potentially get into the final spot and go to gold there, which would be fantastic, wouldn't it, for Jay Hings? I'm not sure if he would care, to be fair. I think Jay Hings would probably rather stay in silver, wouldn't he? I'm not sure, actually. Jay Hings is a man that likes to challenge himself, doesn't he? He certainly has been pretty impressive. I think he's finished 4th now, twice in his silver career so far. Really good 17 there for Jay Higgs. The Duke can potentially get into gold then if he wins with fastest lap tonight there. So Duke can potentially get into... No, he can't. Can he? Yeah, he can actually. But then after that then, so it's between Duke, Jay Hins and Nameless then, who is going to potentially be promoted up to gold then. Incredible. R2 Beat then, sorry, no, it is R2 Beat then. It's expedition mode. Kiki is 7th. I don't think Kiki's racing. I think that's the first time this season that Kiki is is not racing. Gordo in 8th position, great season overall from Gordo. Well, is it a great season for Gordo? Am I being harsh on the young man? Potentially, but you do expect Gordo was in the top 3 a season or 2 ago. Of course, he's but he's 6 points in front of Vessier with May Randolph, who's also on 51 points and in 9th and 10th position. Riley in 11th position on 36 points. 35 points for Mr. Raging Bull. Tory, since 7 foot of that Red Bull CT has been pretty incredible form. And Tory could potentially be a Constructors champion tonight alongside Jay Hings. And if the cards fall into place for the Red Bull team, we'll go for the Constructors in a bit. Cameron on 32 points, 30 points for Farf, 20 points for Nigel. I think that's Farf's worst season in his ALR career. Nigel, I think that's his worst season as well of his ALR career on 20 points. 19 for Irvine, 17 for Reflections, and 2 for Kyle, 1 for Marsky. Technically, anyone editorial is there anyone below Tory can still go down, to be honest, couldn't they? But I think realistically, Reflections, if he can outscore Irvine today, then Irvine will be going down into bronze and Reflection will be escaping the drop zone. Both Haas cars seem to be in a bit of peril at the moment. In the Constructors Championship, oh goodness, we were going. Constructors Championship, and this is probably it's the only championship that Kick Sauber is not involved in the final week. Incredible, isn't it? But Red Bull leads 30 points in front of Aston Martin. Aston Martin needs a big old point swing, but without Nameless. Basically, I think it's what the Constructors has done. Actually, I haven't said that because Nameless, who? Because R2B can only score 26 points, so Red Bull are technically no, they're not actually. I'm jumping ahead of myself because Alpine, if they can get 1-2, Alpine could snatch that Constructors off Red Bull. So it's only Alpine and Red Bull now, which is a very odd thing to say. Then Kick Sauber, who've won everything basically, but they didn't win the Constructors in silver. But they're fourth on 208 points, 134 RB, 97 for the McLaren, Williams on 81, 76 for the Ferrari, 67 for Mercedes, 19 for Haas, which I think is the lowest, one of the lowest Constructors tallies in history. In the joint Constructors, then, of course, we're keeping an eye on this because things are going to be decided over the next 2 races or so. Then, of course, we are coming to the end of the season. So, Kicks out, of course, won the joint Constructors with Alpine in second. The battle for third is still hot on. It's still very much raging on them. Red Bull potentially could win the Constructors and potentially could go up to third in the joint Constructors. Fantastic. McLaren too far back now in 5th position. Well, no, they're not. It's supposed to be our 2-1-2s tonight and tomorrow they could. Then Ferrari on 394 points there. Then they have extended their advantage over the RB. Now it's 17 points with Troy's win last night in fine style. As we've got a Red Bull coming out of the pits now. Then we've got RB and Haas have got an almighty scrap for 7th and 8th position. And they are a point separates those two teams. Williams 58 points back and Mercedes needs a major score in these last 2 races to not get the wooden spoon in the joint Constructors. What's Favre's lowest point score overall? I'm sure actually it's currently 20, which is what you're on the moment. I'm sure in every other championship you've been in, Favre, I don't think you've ever had anything lower than 20 points. So I think it's this season, unfortunately, my good sir. We got cars out on circuit then. So yes, the Constructors Championship. I think this with Nameless not racing here tonight, it's kind of sadly put the championship in a bit on a damp squib. Unfortunately, is it squib or squid? I don't know, to be honest. I'll have to find that out next season, potentially. Whilst we've got a bit... oh, dear, what's happened? Flippy is the champion, the world champion, has had a problem at the exit of turn 2. And, well, that's not ideal, is it, there, for Flippy, then, as he starts his final qualifying in silver. Oh, you're on 30. Okay. Oh, now Flippy gets going then. I wonder if there's issues with the... Oh, no, Flippy's been disqualified from the session. I think he wants to start from last. Anyway, I've just read some of the comments. Maybe I'll just be in dramatic for dramatic effect then as he pulls over to the side of the circuit. And Flippy is out of qualifying, unfortunately. But of course, I think the Flippy is not renowned for his qualifying form, is he? With 4 pole positions then. Having said that, Flippy could have actually, I say that, maybe I'm selling Flippy a bit short, because if if May Randolph doesn't get pole position tonight, Flippy will have the most pole positions this season in silver with 4. So, yeah, actually, I'm selling Flippy a bit short then. How rude am I? Goodness gracious me. I'm slapping with a wet fish. Shocking. All right, where am I looking? I think I'm looking at Riley here as he comes down the second of the 2 back straights, and of course the support paddock on the left-hand side, right-hand side. Now there's we're just Riley's right-hand side. Right. Last 2 what, says Flippy then. So Flippy there is trying to goad us into making a cheeky old bet there. I reckon that Flippy get top 5 tonight. I wonder if anyone, do you reckon Flippy would get on the podium? Potentially. Real Ashton has retracted his statement in the comment section, but I read it whilst I was jiving to as Mr. Raging Bull is out of qualified now. So goodness gracious me, gentlemen. And it's been disqualified for driving the wrong way around the road. Riley has gone fastest, but now Mr. Raging Bull is on the, oh gosh, the car is turning, and the Red Bull, goodness me, I don't know which Red Bull that was, but this is not ideal, as now we've got 2 cars out of qualifying. Riley fastest, Delando second, Nigel in third position, Camaro, Mr. Raging Bull's teammate, is currently gone second at the moment, but goodness me, 2 cars out of qualifying already in this final qualifying session of the season and of 2024 on the F1 game. Here's May Randolph, as of course sadly retired from last night's race. And Jay Hings going 7th at the moment. Vessier is 6th. Nigel is in 5th position. Reflection, can he get out of that drop zone? Because Reflections at the moment will be driving in bronze next season, along with Kaidal as well. 2 Haas cars in the bottom at the moment. Real Ashton was saying that is there going to be rain then? Of course, I'm sure there's rain. It's rained twice in silver in Abu Dhabi, hasn't it? I'm sure it has. Maybe I'm just making it all up then, potentially, which, to be honest, I'd make a lot of stuff up, to be fair. Here's the Duke out of the final turn. As I said, Duke needs to win with fastest lap to get promoted to gold tonight then. So it's not out of the question and going fastest so far, Duke is. And Duke, of course, has already got 2 pole positions to his name. We're happy to get 3rd tonight. But of course, I think that if Duke doesn't get promoted tonight, Torre going 2nd fastest, then surely he has to be the favourite for next season on F1 25. I know we haven't turned the wheel yet. We do not know about the handling model. We do not know about all kinds of bits and pieces. But even so, I do like to make predictions because, to be honest, my prediction is not a spoiler. It's always wrong. At the final turn across the line, and R2B goes 11th fastest at this moment. Gordo currently in 14th finish mode in that Ferrari. Let me quickly read the rest of the comments. Evening to you, Rocket League. Oh gosh, I've just broke my stream. That's not good. Where am I? What's my lowest point? Oh, I've read that already. You missed out, Ashton, to do joint constructors again. We've also got Holmes getting himself disqualified. Yeah, says Farf. Last DNF, says Flippy. All the best, Silver. Wish I could be there tonight at last race, but stuck in Leeds. You would have spun anyway. Goodness me. Absolute disgraceful scenes there from Serious Mushroom. Gordo's got 8th fast as well. Whilst we've got 12 minutes left in the session, and I'm not sure if I'm going to steal Smithy Almighty's thunder here, but I do like to steal a bit of thunder anyway, because, you know, mainly because a lot of thunder comes out of my rear. But, goodness me, so just watching Real Ashton there coming down the back straight. But Smithy Almighty, I'm not sure if a lot of our viewers are aware, but Smithy Almighty will be stepping down as the silver admin at the end of this program tonight. Of course, Smithy Almighty has been the silver admin for 2-3 seasons now. Goodness me, time flies when you're having fun. But Smith Almighty, of course, has been hosting a lot, even hosts a lot of silver, bronze as well, whilst Farf has been having problems with his dial-up internet. To be honest, I'm still upset that Farf gave me license points in Barcelona, even though technically Farf is right, but even so, I was not very well. That's why I put in quit. And it wasn't because I spun. Real Ashton coming into turn 15 and 16 now. Love the helmet design, by the way, from Real Ashton. Real Ashton, I got a question if he's still racing next season in bronze, because it does depend on if his team gets promoted or not. And I can't remember what his team is, so that's annoying. Real Ashton's going to be absolutely furious with me, isn't he? just watching KD come down the back straight. Yes, and so Smithy Almighty has, of course, been admin for Silver and done a really, really good job. He will still be, I think he will be still hosting a couple of races as well, but Smithy, of course, is not going to have much time next season because I think that he's going to look at buying a home as well. So good stuff indeed there for Smithy Almighty, and good luck to him as well, albeit I must say that selfishly I'm unhappy that he's going, but of course, believe it or not, there are some things more important in ALR. I don't know what, to be honest, buying a home obviously, but I disagree at that one, but we all can't see eye to eye, but Smith Almighty did a great job in Silver, and of course also, and he's also, remember, done a lot of the awards, well, he's done all the award nominations as well for Silver as well, which shockingly enough, he hasn't voted for me for Commentator of the Year in Silver, so I'm very disappointed by that. I must admit, I think I haven't said that. I think I might have a good run for my money, because I'm sure that Smithy and Vintage did commentary in one week when I was stuck on the bus coming home one time. I think it was this year, wasn't it? Goodness me, time flies. Snifflegate, says Serious Mushroom. I must say, I was actually really ill. Unlike Serious Mushroom, who missed a race last season. So there we go. Of course, I jest on that, but it's great. Of course, Serious Mushroom was very unwell, and that's the only race that Serious Mushroom has ever missed in his ALR career. And of course, he was in hospital and really not well at all. Let's put it mildly, to be honest. May ran off currently pole position at the moment. I was going to say Kamarov, and I think I've been playing too much Call of Duty. Good stuff indeed. Thank you, Sean and Silver. Loved doing it all. Says Smithy Almighty. Gosh, there's too many yeses in my life. Smithy Almighty will still be continuing in a bronze next season, I believe. Then, and I don't think Smithy Almighty can mathematically drive in silver anyway. But I think that once again, Smithy Almighty could finish fourth in the championship for the second season in a row, like Jay Hings here tonight. Of course, Jay Hings could potentially get third if he wins tonight. Of course, Nameless is 22 points in front, and that'd be quite interesting. I believe Ashton's retired from the session. He's happy with his one and done time now. I'm waiting to see what if Ashton likes me about his team he supports. I'm shocked. I'm absolutely devastated. Thank you, Sean. Glad you noticed I was gone. Says Serious Mushroom. Sean, how can I not, Mushroom? You're always on my case, whether I'm racing or whether I'm in the commentary box. I absolutely wouldn't have it any other way. Of course, Serious Mushroom is our basically our Ted Kravitz, as Nigel goes 6 fastest there. Nigel, like Farf, two veterans in Grand Prix racing have had. Let's not beat around the bush. They've been pretty appalling, really. Of course, 2 drivers have won at the highest level in ALR. Of course, both drivers, I think Nigel's got 7 Grand Prix win in gold, with Favre having 3 Grand Prix win in gold. 2 drivers that was, of course, was very much cream of the crop at the top of their powers, of course, back in yesteryear. But sadly, it's been a pretty horrific season. Now, I need to find out what Favre's lowest points tally is. I'm sure it is actually this season with 3, because I can't remember Favre having such a rubbish season, to be honest. Because they've all been rubbish seasons. I'm joking. To be honest, as you can tell, I'm probably I'm going to get a 20-second penalty tomorrow night, and goodness me, I'm in major trouble, and gosh, let's hope that, because I think I read someone that Favre was laying in his bed at one point, so that's probably why he hasn't gone out on circuit yet. But normally he's in the bath at this stage of the week, as Duke there going in a bit deep there into turn 4 as the RBZ coming down the back straight. And it's good for me because, of course, I was representing one of the RB drivers for tomorrow night. It'd be good to get the RB a bit higher up in the joint constructors, as Duke then, who currently is 4/10 of a second away from May run off, but too much curve there for Duke, and sadly that's that time apart for the time being. But Duke is going for 3 runs here then, so he might be able, so he's going to come back in the pits and throw another set of tyres on. Reflections at night for this moment. Jay Hings has just gone into 8th position at the moment there. Good stuff indeed. 24, not bad there, not far off the pace, as Real Ashton there. Very good stuff indeed there, Real Ashton. By the way, what's your team you're supporting? Because, of course, it does depend on if you're racing bronze next season to get promoted or not. It ain't Birmingham, is it? Goodness me. For some reason, I think that the team you support is in League One, isn't it? But there you go. But having said that, then of course, being a Liverpool fan, all I care about is what happened yesterday, of course. So, but having said that, I did mention actually to one of the work colleagues today that basically it's like Man United's Premier League win back in 2013, where yeah, I think Van Persie was absolutely on it like a car bonnet that season. But gosh, if anyone remembers that season. I'm just showing my age now. Whoa, is R2 beat there, getting too much opposite lock there, and the car was very much unstable. 5 minutes ago in this qualifying session, whilst I've been waffling on about all kinds of nonsense. But yeah, I think that it's not Liverpool's been really good. I mean, yeah, they have won, but the Premier League's been really poor, and like. Going down like teams on 36 and 37 points. So I think Tottenham's on like 36 odd points, haven't they? But who would support them, eh? That was a bit of a dig then for you Spurs fans out there. But as RTB has abandoned his time, as Reflections currently in 10th position, and Gordo has just got up to 9th on the medium tyres there as he's taking a shortcut. Gordo is, shame on him. Reflections there attacking the second chicane. But being on 36 points and being safe at this stage of the season is pretty poor, really, isn't it? It just shows the class between Championship and Premier League's a bit too there. How did KD creep in? Percy is Birmingham. I knew someone was Birmingham. Yeah, of course, talking to KD, this is KD's first, whilst I've been waffling on, this is KD's first race of the season then, KD is in, as they're coming into the final turn now then for the Aston Martin driver across the line, and KD goes 9th fast. It's not too bad for a driver, basically Jack Doohan here tonight, isn't he, KD, is coming in right at the end of the season then, albeit he's in British Racing Green rather than Alpine Blue. Gordo there is using a bit more of the track than he should there for Gordo. Vesh has gone a quarter of a second up in the second split. I love that helmet design. That's a fantastic helmet design indeed there for Vesh here. Fantastic stuff indeed. Also, I'm a bit emotional tonight as well. This is my final time I'm going to be streaming on F124. Well, unless something really untoward happens on F125. But let's not go down that road. And that's a glancing blow with the barrier. Investor didn't want to go down that road. And I think that I hope that hasn't damaged the suspension, which I would, to honestly probably wouldn't have done, but I love it if you could damage the suspension on this game. But Vessier coming into the pits there, doing a Mark Webber, or going over and above what Mark Webber did in the 2010 race there, as Mark Webber just gave a glancing blow to that barrier, whilst Vessier, it was more than a blow. Unfortunately, Camera Racer has gone second fastest on the front row of the grid then for Camera Racer. He's had 2 pole positions this season. Camera Racer is qualified, has never been in doubt, but it's just been the race pace and the strategy calls there for Camera Racer. But Camera Racer has got a few pole positions to his name now. Can't wait to delete this game tomorrow, says Serious Musher. I feel I've got to wait a couple of days because me and Knowles is going to be doing the end of season awards stuff and all that kind of jazz as well. I hope you've all voted, and if you've been voting for bronze and I'm not being a part of your vote, then I'm absolutely devastated and horrified by that, because obviously I should be driving the season, because you know I think I'm 13th at the moment or 12th, which I must say is more down to races like in Qatar basically, where it wasn't me speed that got me into fifth. It was more down to basically just being on the right part of the track at the right time. It was more luck than judgment. But there we go then. Good stuff. But yes, I need to be driving the season, obviously. We've got 2 minutes to go in this qualifying session. I've waffled on, and one thing I did want to... I haven't voted, not bothered. Well, I'm absolutely devastated by that mushroom, because I think I voted for you on one of those, so how do I rescind my vote, Nolsey? As we come out of the Latifi turn, I must admit, I did my votes almost 2 weeks ago, actually, when they first came out. Goodness me. Out the final turn now for Delano, across the line, 4 fastest on the second row of the grid for the Alpine machine. Delano might be happy with that. Then it depends on it. I must say, I think that Delano, once again, it must be so frustrating for Delano. He is so consistent. He's been 3rd and 2nd in this championship several times now, and has never won it, has he? Goodness gracious me. And not my setup, says Serious Russia. It wasn't a setup, definitely not. To be honest, I think that literally just before we got into the race, I'm sure Mushroom said actually, put your front wing up to 50, and I think that was one of the reasons why I was able to stay on track and had no penalties at all. If it didn't rain in Qatar last week, I'm going to be honest, my 47-second penalty I had in 100% a year ago, I reckon I would have beaten that and probably got into the 1 minutes, maybe even the 2 minutes potentially. Can I still vote? Says Serious Mushroom. I think that the voting is still open, isn't it? To be honest, I'm only an admin by name, but not by anything else, which Knowles is probably shaking his head at me, as that's very wide there for Kai Dow, and I think the Farf and Smith and Mighty are going to be disappointed with me as well, as I probably should know this, shouldn't I really? Out the final turn there for Kai Dow, across the line, Kai Dow goes 13 passes, shares the row with his teammate Reflections. It's an all-Haas row 6 then. I think the Haas would be happy that this season is almost over, as it's been a challenging time. Farf is out of bed, and he's out of the bath as well, and he is on the back straight there, Farf is. Irvine also in action as well. Great to see. Mayranov is 6800 a second up in the second split time. The checker flag has fallen. Camaro's on the front row. Delando is in fourth position, and sixth position is Riley at the moment. Reflections in the pits. Marsky has missed the checker flag. Mayranov, can he get his fourth pole position of the season, which will equal and he's currently on pole position by 4/10 of a second. That will equal Flippy's tally as well with 4 apiece in qualifying. Wow, incredible stuff indeed there. What about Duke? Duke is 1200 a second up then in the second split top. He's got a car tailgate him. It's a Tory who is 3/10 of a second up. That could be on the front row, but he's got a car right in front of him. Nigel is 1300 a second down in the McLaren Mercedes across the line. Nigel does improve ever so slightly. Farf is up to 9th. Jay Hinks is up to 7th as well. What about the Ferrari of Irvine? Irvine, Gordo goes 6th fastest there. Duke coming up to the line then. This is going to hurt Tory surely. Duke goes second fastest. Tory goes second fastest, but it's May run off on pole position then for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. What about R2B to the moment? R2B stays in 15th position then. Irvine coming out of the final turn as well. Irvine goes up to 14th fastest. KD loses a bit of time, then he's 10th in the end there for KD. And what about Kaidar? Kaidar crosses the line, and he's P15 as well. But it's Mayranov pole position number 4 this season. It's a tie between Mayranov and Flippy for the most pole positions in the silver season there. And goodness gracious me, Mayranov there, absolutely, he's electrified by his performance. Fantastic stuff indeed there. And he'll be happy with that. And the RB then getting their 5th pole position of the season, which means that RB has more pole positions than any other team. So congratulations to them this season. Really good stuff indeed. And I'm going to mention that because, of course, I'm a part of the RB team. May run off his 4th pole position of his career and of the season as well. So fantastic stuff indeed. And I've forgotten my squash again. That's annoying. Oh dear, oh dear. It's because on Sundays I'm always so prepared, but then when we come, but on Mondays it's kind of a bit of a rush to get back here, you see, and that's why I'm always here, there, and everywhere. Right, so where am I? I'll check after this. You're useless. You're you're less useless than a chocolate fire guard. Hang on a minute. What's all going on here? Wait a minute. Oh gosh. Anyway, don't worry about that. I was just trying to get rid of all me all my notifications so I can actually see what's going on. But sadly, we didn't reach our aim for how many to 700 subscribers this season. Hopefully, we'll do that next season. I would like to think we can get to 750 next season. That's the aim, of course. Which would be very good indeed. But I must say, you're probably all getting sick of me by now, aren't you? Goodness me. Next season is going to be quite interesting indeed as well. Of course, there's going to be a load of announcements out on social media and things like that. It's also going to be interesting to see how the new game handles. We've got reverse tracks potentially coming in for the new game. How is ALR going to implement that? And that's going to be interesting stuff indeed. How long is the calendar going to be? Of course, we are expecting. Oh, Riley's left the session. Oh no. Oh, Riley and blimey O'Reilly. Goodness gracious me. Oh, chocolate kettle. To be honest, the expression that people used to tell me was you were about as useful as a chocolate fire guard. But kettle is actually probably you know what? To be honest, I am like a kettle though. I do steam a lot. Especially after a night out. Hard tires for Delando, for Far, for Marsky, and for Mr. Raging Bull. Everyone else on the medium compound tires. So let's go through the grid, shall we? May run off his 4th pole position of the season and of his career. Torre alongside him on row 1. I was saying about Duke being the favourite for next season. Of course, we can't count our chickens before he hatch. We heard last night about me getting very excited about Traore and Traore. Goodness me, that's a football player. And Tories in silver. But in Troy, he's a potential championship credentials after his 3rd win the season. Troy. Let's go through the grid first, shall we? Goodness me, this is not good at all, is it? You guys, how are you guys going to follow if I'm talking absolute rubbish? Right, and May Ranoff has got a different strategy compared to Tory. They're interesting. That's the front row. Duke in 3rd position there. 4th is Camaro. 5th is Delando. 6th position is Gordo. 7th is Riley, who's not in the session. That's going to hurt. 8th is Jay Hings. Of course, Red Bull have got a chance of clinching the Constructors' Championship tonight. Well, of course, this is the final race of the season, and it's looking good. There's Tory currently in 2nd position. Where they finish, that will be it. The Red Bull team will be the Constructors' Champions. And of course, they finished 5th last season, I believe it was 4th. KD in 10th position, 4th in 11th position on the hard tyres. 4th is the 2nd highest runner on the hard tyres. And 4th and Vescher so evenly matched this season. And once again, they're side by side. It's been one of my highlights of this season watching 4th and Vescher. Reflection in 13th, Irvine in 14th. 2 drivers trying to escape the relegation zone. Caldale in 15th position. 16th is R2. 17th position is Real Ashton. Hafu is qualified before he's kind of get some points on the race. Marsky, the man who was runner-up in bronze last season, could be going back down to bronze. He overshot his box. He has. 19th is Mr. Raging Bull. 20th position is Flippy. Marsky is probably screaming about profanity in the cockpit there. Do the grid, Sean. That is 5 lights are on. 5 lights are up, and it's going the twilight of Abu Dhabi. And Tori has got away superbly well and takes the lead into turn 1. That's a better camera angle. May run off there. Didn't have a great start at all. They all got through. They have all got through just about. And yes, they have indeed. There's a car run wide there. It's one of the Mercedes of Mr. Raging Bull. Riley's dropped right down to the back of the field because he's not in the session. That's painful for the Alpine team. Now into the big stop of turn 4 and now onto the back straight. No DRS yet. DRS will be available at the end of the net. That's a Haas! That's a Haas in the wall. Who is it? It's Kydal. And Kydal is in the wall. Tory is now under the cosh here because they ran off having a look there, but no does. That Ferrari is steamed in there. It's Gordo. Gordo has completely missed his braking point there and he's come out alongside Nigel. Nigel to take evasive action. Now Bollard's gone flying into the stratosphere. Jay Hings is alongside Farf. Farf has got a 5 position. An incredible start from Farf. My goodness gracious me. So is in a fire under Farf's rear posterior and he's up into 6th position. He is 6th position. He passes Jay Hings who's down into 7th or up into 7th. Riley dropping down in a horror show for Riley there, and I think a lot of the season for Riley has been so quick in qualifying, but race trim has not been as good then. Tory has never won a Grand Prix so far in his career just yet. He had his first podium of his career last time out in Qatar. Can he get his first race win? And what a way to finish off this season and really putting my prediction well and truly in the bin before he even got going for next season then. Season 10 is silver, of course, next season, but there's season 9 for now. And of course, Flippy has dominated the headlines in the last few races or so. Flippy going for his, he's up into 12th position already. He's up 8 positions, Farf at 5. Those are the 2 big shakers on the opening stage of this race so far. Kydal has dropped down 5 positions. Lewis Riley is out of the Grand Prix at the moment. He needs to get back in the car ASAP then to try and minimise the time at the moment there. Someone just slapped that Haas. Goodness me, sir. Keep a lid on it. Down into turn number 5, I think, or 6th position. Riley's back in the session. Look at the top 4 here. They're all concentrated up there as they go into the chicane. Tory there, of course, still sliding a bit. That is the Red Bull. They're not very compliant on the old rear posterior. May run off and followed by Camera Racer on board now with the Mercedes driver. And he's going to have a sniff. Not quite. And the DRS is not very powerful yet. Tory seems to have a good of speed down that back straight. Flippy and KD. The first time we're seeing these 2 drivers go wheel to wheel in ALR. Goodness me, this could be a sign of things to come in the future. And look at 3 abreast and Van Vessier, KD, and knocked about there. Goodness gracious me. And gosh, there, a bit of roughhouse in the midfield. Irvine up to 12th position. Vessier down to 13th. KD down into 14th position there. One of the Williams is touring, and I'm surprised there's no damage there out of any of those three cars there, because that was quite vicious indeed. As Fasab Race has gone to the hard shot, Delando at the moment. That's surprising. Far from the hard tires are looking quite impeccable at the moment, and they're doing a great job. All the hard runners have actually elevated themselves up from their grip position. I forgot to take my hoodie off, so I'm going to be sweatier than a sweaty thing. My word. And now coming on to the back straight then as well. And now this is a very good run here from Mayranov. We're on board with Mayranov as we just seen some more overtaken in the background. Mayranov pole position then going alongside and passing. Katoria moving up the order then. What about Camaro going up the inside? Flippy's alongside Gordo. But Gordo is repelled the attack there from Flippy. And Gordo is still in 10th position. He's still in 10th position. Here comes Delano. And Delano on the outside. Now, not Delando. Great save from TK. Oh, goodness me. As, of course, I used to call KD TK when they was back racing. What's happened? What's happened there is Gordo has dropped down into 10th position, but they've got problems in the back of the field. Kardal is off the circuit at the chicane. The more they fight, the more that they're going to drop out of DRS, but everyone is in DRS. There's more shenanigans. KD off the circuit. Vessier off the circuit as well. Again, the two drivers that come together, Vessier and KD. My goodness gracious me then, and they're both out of DRS range as well. Reflections up to 9th position. As it stands, we might have to go on count back, but as it stands, Reflections is out of the relegation zone. Reflections does not want to be in bronze next season, and how dare he not want to be in bronze next season, because he'll be racing me. So far, I thought he was going to line up a manoeuvre there, but he doesn't. There's a lot of locking up there down to the hairpin, and Farf is all over the gearbox now. And Farf is flying up there, and he's actually gapped Jay Hings there. Camaro is now going for the lead there, and then taking the lead. I think Camaro already has a Grand Prix win to his name in his career in bronze, and Nigel is now up into 7th position there, and Reflections has got past Jay Hings as well. Jay Hings is struggling, and I don't know what's happened to Jay Hings there, but Jay Hings is being swallowed up by the pack, and now here comes Gordo, and we got Flippy also on the outside looking at it as well. Flippy then, of course, the world champion. Through he goes, and my goodness me, like a rose between two thorns, up into 9th position. There goes Flippy. Gordo down into 10th. Jay Hings down to 11th position. Then Mr. Raging Bull is trying to get on the inside of R2 Beta, but R2 Beta says no way, Pedro, and now up into 13th position he goes. Gap at the front then is still 0.2 of a second a moment. Farf is flying, says Serious Russia. Absolutely, Mr. Raging Bull has got the first penalty of the eve of tonight's proceedings. Farf is trying to have a go on the outside into turn 1 there. The top 6 are now a second and a half in front of Nigel. Reflection is now into 8th position there, and Reflection is currently in 17th in the driver's standings there. Now this is a real relegation battle. We didn't see a relegation battle in the Premier League, but we're certainly seeing it in silver tonight there. Camera racer then, of course, I'm sure he's won a Grand Prix already. I need to get my old book out, I think, and have a look to see. Have a look through the old page then, goodness me. But here comes Mayranov, and who's going to actually tell me to put the book down because he's back in the lead. Mayranov is takes the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Look at how close they get as well. Who is Pedro Della Rosa? No, I gotta say, Mushroom, I tip my hat off to you for that, because that's cracking 17. You know, I was going down Pedro Diniz, to be honest, on Pedro Labi. Pedro Labi, one of the best Portuguese drivers to ever set foot in a Formula 1 car, apart from Thiago Monteiro, who got a podium in the United States Grand Prix in 2005. Enough about that shenanigans, because we've got some more here. As Marsky then, who's, I'm not sure if he's lost out there, but Riley trying to recover. Riley qualified 7th, I believe, on the grid then, but had issues on the start line, and sadly is dropped down the order. Back at the front, Mayranov, Camaro, and then we got Tori, then we got Duke, then we got Delando, followed by Farfed. Then after that, Reflections, Nigel, Flippy, and Gordo. Oh, what's happened? Oh, Reflections is off the circuit, and where is he? Oh, that incredible speed that Reflection has shown tonight has come to nothing. Oh, that is painful. Vessier into the pits, and a very early stop for Vessier. Has he got damage there? Cardinal's got a 3-second penalty. I'm not, as I I wish I watched that back actually. Goodness me, I was just seeing if Reflection got a touch or if he lost it on his own accord. That is a shame there for Reflection because he was drawing superbly well and looking very strong. Here they come then. Now we've got a lot of slipstreaming going on, and of course, if anyone remembers last night's race, that's better than me because I can't remember what happened in last night's race. Jay Hings has stopped the rot. He is now back to 10th finish. Now he's been dropping down and he's really struggling with speed. Here's the Duke, who is never struggling with speed. Then he's wheel to wheel, side by side with Tory, but he backs off there. Flippy's got past Nigel, is now in 7th finish, and two greats of the ALR Championship in history. Who's that? May ran off the circuit. I keep saying who's that. I should just read the name, shouldn't I? Welcome to Bronze Reflection, says a serious mushroom. We're not a bad group, I swear. Going into the beautiful hotel, which I think is where a lot of the after party will be happening. Of course, we'll be partying with Nico Rosberg in the Amber Lounge. I don't really know where the Amber Lounge is, to be honest. I heard it off, I think, Matt Gallagher. I think when he used to YouTube with TMA Marga, I think, but basically that Ben from Australia and all them guys. But yes, that was one of the first quotes I've heard of that, but I don't really get it. There you go then, but that's just me. Farfam sliding a bit there. Oh, Camaro off the circuit, goodness me, and that is a shame. He doesn't have damage on that Mercedes-Benz, but he's lost a lot of time, a lot of track position, and Flippy is now on his rear posterior, and May ran off, look at that, trying to break the toe here, and now we've got a 1-2 for the RB, but here comes Delando, and Delando is up in third position. I thought he was going to get past 2 there, but he decided not to. Look at this, as we get very close and personal with Duke's rear diffuser there, Delando is there. Delando is not going to think twice about an overtake here because he can see May Ranoff is starting to run off into the distance here, but Delano is not having any of it, and he's pushing on, and look at that, they've actually reeled him in. That's how powerful this DRS is. Delano up the inside here, but I think that it'd be a very brave man to overtake there. Farf, who is also trying to pressure Tory into a mistake as well. On board with Farf. What a performance here tonight for Farf. Incredible stuff indeed. Marmaduke. Is that the Owen Wilson film? Was there Marley and Me as well? That's the sad one, isn't it? I don't really want to watch that. That's with Jennifer Aston in it, isn't it? Maybe I should want to watch that actually. Oh, Farf almost lost the car, and very much, goodness me. That Red Bull Racing became a Red Bull Williams racing there. Goodness me, they're very close together. Camaro is they're now about 2.1 seconds, and the gap between the top 5 and then Camaro, Flippy, Nigel, Gorda. Great bit of racing there for up and down the field tonight there for drivers that have had a very difficult season. We're on board with one of them now, Farf, and I gotta say, Nigel and Farf are doing a great job. Farf going for the switcheroo there. Now, goodness me, Farf getting his elbows out there and throwing caution to the wind now. And now Farf is up into 4th position, and Duke is homing in on the teammate. Look at this, it's an RB1-2 at the moment there, which will be music to the ears. As it stands out, it is Red Bull Racing will be the Constructors Champion of Silver, which is a good, absolutely fantastic indeed. And this is one championship where Kick Sauber have not won. And now Duke takes the lead then on lap 8 of Abu Dhabi, passes his teammate, and through he goes. Flippy is now passed, and we've got yellow flags. What's happened down there as it's Real Ashton and KD, which I don't know if they come together or if they're just recovering. Riley now having to do 40th position, getting past Marsky, as we've got battles up and down the field at the moment. It's absolute anarchy out there, isn't it? Back on board with Delano, who is now in 3rd position at the moment. Farf could win this, says Serious Mushroom. Farf and Delano could win it. Farf very much. I wonder if he took exception to saying, "Oh, there's potentially Farf's worst season of his career." And it won't be if he wins tonight. Into the pits comes Duke then on lap 9. Is that a bit early, Serious Kravix? I'm not sure, to be honest. I reckon that might be a bit early, but the undercut around it could be powerful, but he might be prone to attack, especially from the drivers going to medium tyres later on in this race, and which will be Farf and Delano. Maybe even Mr. Raging Bull as well, who's also flying through the field quite nicely. Marsky down in 14th position, and then Duke is coming out of the pits now. It's a very long pit in here, of course, so you do lose a lot of time coming in the pits there. Ideally, you would probably want to pit when there's a safety car or a VSC. There's no such thing happening at the moment there, but that's how Equels got up through the field and got a 2nd position last night. Bang on that, says Serious Mushroom, so absolute bang on indeed then. as Delano has now taken the lead, as we've got Riley and Hings now. I don't know who to watch, but let's go with Riley and Hings, shall we? Jay Hings is lacking speed there, of course, fourth in the championship. Nigel has got past that Camera Racer, has also dropped down the order as well, as Jay Hings, who was quite high up in the positions in qualifying, but it's just lacking pace at the moment. Oh, Camaro's off again, and more positions lost for the Mercedes driver. He's come back on right in front of Riley. Riley's going up the inside there, goodness me. And I've got to say, I think that Riley there was trying to scare Camera off the road potentially there, because there was no way in. There was no way. As into the pits comes Reflect. Reflect's got a 3-second penalty. Mayron. Oh, we've got more drivers starting into the pits there. Of course, if you do get a 3-second penalty for coming in the pits there, make sure you get the footage and of course your race director, because you can get that removed. And KD, I think, may also be a victim of that 3-second penalty problem when you come in the pits. Massive undercut, says Serious Mushroom. Good job I read that right, actually, because that could have gone one or two ways there. And I think the Serious Mushroom would have, that might be Serious Mushroom's description of me, potentially. I've got an email, fantastic. No way, it's off LinkedIn. Right, Kardow's got a 10-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. We haven't seen many pit lane speed limit infringements here this weekend. We've seen quite a lot over the season, haven't we? That's one thing I'm surprised by, is the amount of pit infringements we see in Grand Prix race at the moment. Camera should have gone to Specsavers, says Serious Mushroom there. Of course, not sure these days with how much they cost, and goodness gracious me. Irvine, who is Irvine, having to wait for this yet, Irvine is, but he is chasing down RTB. Just behind him is Marsky, as looking Nigel, superb in fourth position. Great job from Nigel. Nigel had a good start to the season as well, with a great fourth position, and that has been his best result of his season. And then he had a sixth position in Portugal as well. That's the only time Nigel scored this season. And once again, Nigel's had a horror show of the season. Into the pit lane comes the champion Flippy. I thought it's in the car go around there, but I think it was just Gordo coming into the final turn. Delano and Favre. So this is what Favre can do, and this is what we haven't seen this season from Favre. Whether Favre is just not settled down with that Williams car, whether Favre has just been a bit bewildered about the state of Grand Prix racing, we do not know. But goodness gracious me, Favre is absolutely flying now. And we've seen Favre in a couple, I can't remember what race it was. It was a couple of races ago. I think it was Italy, where he was on course to get a major points haul, but I think he got fifth in the end there for Favre, which did get him out of that relegation battle ever so slightly. Now here comes Mr. Rage Bull, also flying up the order as well and getting past Gordo. The old Ferrari also getting past the Vervine now, as both Ferraris seem to be deja vu. A bit of rewind there potentially. Oh, ignore that email, Sean. I sent it to the wrong person there. You got my LinkedIn up, you mushroom. Goodness gracious me. To be honest, I think I should put my commentary skills on LinkedIn, shouldn't I? Goodness me. To be honest, I must admit I haven't logged into LinkedIn for ages, to be honest. It's just like Facebook, but more professional, isn't it? May run off getting past Tory, and this is a battle for position. This is because, of course, both drivers are on a similar strategy, and Tory is now behind May run off there, and I think that this battle is going to carry on now until the end of the race, I believe, and the end of the season as well. And a half distance just yet, but Favre is. There's a car, it's all fine, and there's damage to the Ferrari. If there's a VSC now, surely the driver's going to have to go to the pits there. As goodness me, as the Red Bull of Tory going up and under as they've gone through. Irvine, yeah, that's not a 3-second penalty at all, goodness me. Yeah, and that's pretty shocking, isn't it, really, from the game there, but there we go. But as Serge Russia said there, just one more day and then we'll be uninstalling it. And looking forward to F1 25. But of course, if you go onto the F1 24, you can get 10% off it or something like that. It sounds like I work for EA. Right, as now Favre has taken the lead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Irvine and Ashton are in the pits as well. They're both at 18th and 19th finish moment. Currently, all of the drivers are still running. This season, the highest DNF rate this season is Nigel with only 4 DNFs and Delano back through. It just shows the lack of DNFs this season has been pretty impressive. Is Farf? I thought Farf snapped into the Alpine there whilst I was reading out my old stats. Then here's Torre coming back on Mayran, and Mayran then is going to lose out. Then, as I said, this is going to be an ongoing battle then for the remainder of this race and under the season as well. Riley, Camaro, and I think Nigel's involved in that as well. And the Papaya McLaren diving up the inside, and Riley has taken 10th, 11th position, has he? As I think he has said. No, it's Camaro. I was getting so confused. I was like, why is the graphic not updated there? But it's Camaro up in the 10th position, Nigel in 11th, and Riley just right behind him in 12th position. Into the pits comes Gordo, the final driver, onto the medium compound tyres. Is going from medium to hard, which is good. Somebody Torres just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix and the proceedings so far. Jay Hings, Camaro set the fastest lap as well. Just pinched it off of Jay Hings down in 16th position. Well, both drivers then have pitted in that fracas then. So the top four, Marsky, Mr. Rage, Farf and Delano, have all not pitted yet. Everyone else has pitted. Duke in 5th position then. Then we've got Tori in 6th, May ran off in 7th position. Duke has come out in front of him. Duke actually pitted early on. Goodness, apologies. And there's Flippy in 8th, 5 seconds back, almost 6 seconds. Camera in 9th position, fighting tooth and nail with Nigel, Vessier and with Riley and Nigel. Then with Vessier in 12th position, and R2B in 13th, and Gordo and we'll come back to that because the summary will have to wait. Then it's now we got Nigel, who's back into 9th position. And this is great to see Nigel and Camera Racer fighting this. It's great to see Nigel back in the action as well. I love it. It's great to see Farf up there as well. Camera Racer now into oh my goodness gracious me, who's out on the outside? That's Riley. Blimey O'Reilly up into 9th position, passes the both of them, and thank you sir. Then Riley in 9th position now with Camera in 10th and Nigel in 11th position as well. Great to see, love it, fantastic. Of course, I must admit that make no bones about it. I do have a soft spot for drivers that have been in this championship for a long time, so like Camaro and Nigel. And I also got a soft spot for Riley as well because I love the way that Riley drives there. Turns up and very much absolutely floors it to the max, doesn't he, Riley? Fantastic, somebody. And one driver which I feel has been very unlucky this season and deserves many more points indeed. So good stuff indeed, and that's a great trio to battle the battle at the end of the season now. Back on board with Mayran, who's currently in 7th position. We just got at Farf, Farf is there, he is, and I was like, where are them two? Then is look at this, and all over the gearbox now of Delano. Farf is very much driving superbly well, as we already mentioned, and this is the kind of Farf we was expected a season or two ago. I think it's 2023 actually. Farf did finish in the top 3, didn't he? Farf did, and to be fair to Farf, that is the pace that we used to see him from the multiple Grand Prix winner. 3 wins in Brazil, 3 wins in gold as well for Farf. He is only Italy has been the only other race where Farf has really turned up and very much put pedal to the metal flat out here. Jay Hings got a 3-second penalty. A bit of an off day for Jay Hings here tonight, isn't it? A decent qualified, a very good qualifying, but in the race, he's just really struggled, hasn't he? Lap 15, and we're half distance of the final race of the season. I'm very happy for you folks, and this is the final race for me commentating on F1 2024 as well. And of course, if you haven't voted, get your votes as well. Serious Rushman vote, which is shameful stuff indeed. And Serious Rushman, better vote for me for driver of the season in bronze, which I don't think I'm even in driver of the season for bronze, and which I don't even know why I'm giving Farf plaudits, to be honest, because it didn't put me in driver of the season, which is shocking. Just watching Farf now, who is very keen to take the lead in this Grand Prix as day turns into night here in Abu Dhabi. Farf is alongside. Farf has taken the lead. I'd be interested to know how many warnings these drivers have got before they get a penalty, because that could be crucial in tonight's outcome here. The Duke, it's been a Duke masterclass, this Serious Rushman. Talking to Duke, he's now in the 5th and 4th position there. Tori up in the 5th, Marsky dropping down to 6th, and with May run off, that's crucial because he's not got past, but he can get past at this second part of the back straight here. Is Farf and Delano fighting, and Farf keeps the lead. Goodness gracious me, and now we got May run off there, has not got past. He dives at the inside there. That is crucial, and that is very assured. He needed to do that because if he stayed behind Marsky is on very old worn tyres now. If he stayed behind Marsky at this stage of the lap, that would have been curtains, I think, for Mayran off there, but maybe I'm just being a bit too bit too dramatic then. I will vote you for setup of the season. Absolutely, my setup's the second to none, Serious Basham. It's coming across the line once again there. But I think the setup for the season definitely goes to Qatar, doesn't it? What an absolute what a performance that was, of course, in Qatar, where well, I set the car for myself. I put on 50-50 wings. Even though I went the wrong way to begin with, so I was actually going to go 1-1 wings, which would have been pretty bad. So that would have been very much Monza spec up front and rear wings. Well, probably even extreme for Monza, to be honest. Farf is really fighting this one. Tori is through, passes Duke, and now his team and Duke's teammate Mayran's also through as well, up into 5th position there. That is how powerful that DRS straight is. Farf is now has settled into 2nd position for the time being, but I don't think he's going to settle for long. Nigel and Riley are fighting for position. Whoa, that car just disappeared off there. Riley, contact there, and I'm not sure if either driver knew where he was, because I think Riley was launched up into the air, and not only that, I'm not sure if there was a desync as well, potentially. But I may be wrong on that one. We may have to have another look there, but it looked like Riley was ghosting, then not ghosting. Into the pits there comes Delano, taking it very cautiously, coming in the pits as well. Farf is carried on. He is on lap 17 now, Farf is, and currently leads the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Where is Delano going to come out in? That is going to be the question I've got then. So here we go on to the medium tyres now. Delano is for the remainder of this Grand Prix, and Delano will be very happy. Very happy to go on to those new medium tyres, and he's going to be quicker than a hiccup now for the remainder of this Grand Prix. Farf and Dylan will lose out a lot longer they stay out there. But do you think the medium tyres will get to the end now, Mushroom, if they come in at this stage now like Delano has? And they will struggle, won't they? Or is it going to be an easy to the end? And of course, with fuel is no longer in the car, which means the car will be lighter. Here's Mayran, who's got back past Torre, and then here comes the Duke as well, who is also up into 4th position. I've got to say, I don't have any clue about who's going to be on the podium in this race. Delano has come out in front, just right behind Nigel. Now make that he's in front of Nigel now, and into 9th position there. And now here comes Duke. I'm wondering if Mayran just lets his teammate go there, and are they going to try and help themselves now and try and gap each other as much as they can? Mediums will be fine. They will now, says Serious Mushroom. Mediums are fine then. Serious Mushroom has rubber stamped that theory, and Delano is now going to take off on his strategy and going to put in some qualifying laps, but you cannot hurt the tyres too much then. Farf has responded and is coming to the pit a lap later. How crucial is that going to be in the outcome of this Grand Prix? Maybe the championship as well, as Cameron's got a 3-second penalty in terms of the constructors. At the moment, Red Bull are the constructors champions and needed a major point swing between the Red Bull team and the Alpine team. Aston Martin sadly out of it because they only have one driver represented tonight there, which is unfortunate. And sadly, the Aston Martin driver is down in 12th position, and RTB just hasn't got the speed around Abu Dhabi here tonight, unfortunately. And I've got real bad stomachache come on, and I might have to, the interviews might be a little shorter tonight, and goodness gracious me. What have I eaten? As Tori now in the 2nd position there, breezes past Duke, then going down that bike straight. I think one thing I'd like to see next season is the DRS needs to get you in play, but doesn't need to make the overtake so easy. That's what I like to see, and I think the slipstreaming and DRS this season has been a bit too powerful, in my humble opinion. Tori is retaking the lead then, as we're now just yo-yoing around. I do think that in the first stints especially, it's like a bit of a DRS train. Flippy has lost out to Delano there. Of course, both drivers fighting for the championship, of course, which was won last week in Qatar. At the moment, Flippy, who has dominated the last couple of races, I think he's on course to win 6. He's won 6 in a row. Is not going to win a 7th at the moment unless something very untoward happens. But you cannot count anything out. We had a late safety car. A late safety car in this one. What haven't you eaten? You bugger. Gosh. Serious, how dare you? I must say that my waistline is about as thick as the Grand Canyon, I have you know. As I'm coming down into, I'm not, apologies actually, goodness me, is the B word an actual swearing, do you reckon? Am I going to be demonetized potentially? Goodness gracious me, I might be in the admin's bad books now, and Smith Almighty has still got the power still got the power probably until the end of the week, really. So goodness me, I'm hoping he might put me in the in solitary confinement or something. Mayran takes the lead. Then 10 laps to go. It's now RB 1-2. Only team that have got a 1-2 this season is actually the Kick Sauber team of Smithy Almighty. Talking to Smithy Almighty is Smithy Almighty as Duke retakes the lead. Smithy Almighty and Luke in the Bronze Championship, which was one. They had one last week and then one earlier on in the season. That is the only team to have a 1-2 this season in ALR. 1-2s are quite rare in ALR. I think the most in a single season, I'm sure, was actually about 5 by the Haas team in silver a few seasons ago then. Goodness me. Prove it, Sean, says Rocket Lee. I'll send you a picture later, Rocket Lee, but I don't think I've got a wide enough lens. And I haven't got a long enough arm there to fit all my posterior in there. Duke out of the final turn. And on lap 20 out of 29. You can tell it's the end of the season, can't you? The decorum in this commentary box is completely gone, hasn't it? Farfim came on the pits a few laps ago. 2 seconds away from camera at the moment. Flippy is still on the back of Delano. Oh, what's happened? What's happened? Vessier is in peril again for the Williams car. He's in the pits now. And Nigel's got a 3-second penalty somewhere. That could be costly. But Vesh has had a lot of adventures here tonight, haven't they? On my setup, you're welcome, Smithy. Serious motion there, of course, could never let that setup slide. But I must say, Smithy was fantastic last week, and also hats off to Smithy as well. I know Knowlesy covered it in the bronze stream last week as well, but great teamwork there from Smithy. We mentioned it in gold last night about teamwork is not always the dream work in Grand Prix racing at this level, but I must say that Smithy certainly put his teammate and Luke well above his own personal gains. So Smith Almighty has won 2 or 3 Grand Prix in his career in silver, and really to potentially to let your teammate win is a very impressive stuff indeed. Of course, Luke is still fighting the championship. There is Riley and R2P rubbing wheels, and Jay Hings there in the background, hoping that these two get a bit more friendlier of each other, and Jay Hings might be able to take that position and get himself back into 10th. Nigel is about 2 seconds in front. Farf has not got past Camaro yet. Now this is becoming mission critical for Farf, because on the medium tyres, Farf is not that quick. Or is it me just thinking that is it me just reading this race completely wrong? Potentially, probably, almost certainly. But far from it, that's 2-second gap between himself and Flippy. And then Delano's a further second almost in front of Flippy. So I think it's mission critical now for Farf if he wants to win this Grand Prix. Mayran takes the lead of Abu Dhabi. As once again, then you've got to say a lot of overtakes at the front there. The top 3 have got a 5-second buffer over Delano. Farf has got past Camaro. So he's heard the Williams' cries, hasn't he? And he's got past Camaro and up into 6th position. Camaro had a couple of a couple of adventures there tonight. Goodness me, we've got another adventure here. Oh, there's a horrible sausage curb. And what's happened there? We've got a problem with one of the Haas cars. It's Kai Dow, who in the midway through the season between the Dutch, Italy, and I think Singapore Grand Prix, Kai Dow really found some speed then, didn't he? Did Kai Dow? But I'm wondering, is that Tori's got a 3-second penalty. His first race win might be put on ice here until next season potentially. So that is not ideal. And why do I keep saying potentially? It's like potentially. Beast, you drove like a beast. Smith, you drove like a beast. You're just a beast. Ultimate Beast might have something to say about that as we come across the lightning. Of course, the outgoing champion from Silver, who won it last season in pretty impressive form, and of course, Flippy in equally impressive form as well this season. I'd like to see Flippy and Beast go head to head. Hopefully, I'll get my wish next season. Potentially. Lap 22 out of 29 here. Then. As I am now laid down, as I got to say, it's been a long season, only 16 races there. I must admit, Because it used to be only 16 Grand Prix when I first started watching F1 16. I was snapping TJ Hinks trying to get the inside of R2 Beat, but R2 Beat has none of it there. But now a lot of DRS is going to be happening here on the back straight. Gordo maybe feeling a bit vulnerable there, and Riley has got through Gordo and is taking the lead. Duke is back in the lead as well. Gordo's not taking the lead. As goodness me, it's getting very cozy once again into the chicane. There's a horrible sausage curve on the inside there, and as we've seen already, Riley launched himself into the side of, I can't remember who it was now, launched himself into the side of someone earlier on this race. Gordo on the inside chucks it in. That corner is so inviting, isn't it? And Riley has lost out to Gordo. Gordo back over to ninth. Gordo does have penalties though. Lap 22, of course. There, that's rubbish there for Tori. Says Serious Motion. Absolutely, Tori was I think was certainly in it to win, and then even if he does win it on track now, he will not win it in the steward's room because there will be a 3-second penalty is going to hurt. Of course, the 3-second penalties on track will not be removed, and of course, unless it's obvious, the 3-second penalties coming in the pit lane will be reviewed by the stewards. Because last night we did have 2 penalties removed there for Legends and Immortals, so they both were promoted up to 4th and 5th respectively in that final classification. This is a great old battle, though, isn't it? You cannot tell us the final races, can you? Because these guys are absolutely flying and absolutely kicking lumps out of each other, which is great to see, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. I thought the boxing on Saturday was entertaining, but this one is fantastic, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. Is it Chris Eubank in? No, I don't know who it was, to be honest. As now we got more overtaken, and Riley's through. R2 Beat. Gordo, that is. Goodness me. Yellow flag. As what's happened? There's a problem. And oh no, it's Camaro off the circuit. No, it isn't. It's Mr. Raging Bull off the circuit. I apologise, Camaro. As I knew he was in this battle somewhere, but goodness me, Mr. Raging Bull down into 13th position now, and the Mr. Raging Bull does have new medium tyres. So that's he does have a pace advantage at the moment, but that is not good at all. R2 Beat now in the top 10. It's not enough for Aston Martin, sadly. Aston Martin needed both Nameless and R2 Beat here tonight to have a hope of clinching the Constructors' Championship. But with Tori now in 3rd position, he does have a 3-second penalty, but Red Bull needed to be a major swing, and Alpine needed to have both cars very much in the podium scoring position. Same with Aston Martin as well. As we got issues. It's one of the Ferraris. It's Gordo off the circuit. And in the final turn there, of course, Max Verstappen had an almighty swapper. And sadly for Gordo, having issues there. And on lap 24, Gordo's got damage to his car. And sadly, I don't think Gordo's going to score any points. And it was getting a bit hot in the kitchen, wasn't it, in this battle between Riley, R2 Beat, Jay Hings. And sadly, Gordo has become a... a victim. I'm not sure if he was a victim or not, really. I'm just surmised that. But of course, I'm a very sinister mister. As Jay Hings down into the hairpin once again. We've got, when I first watched F1, they had to wait for Steam before they could go. Goodness me. Gosh, I don't think F1 was even invented then, wasn't it? That must have been way before my time. I think that was probably in the 1940s. And maybe, I think the Serious Rush was there in the first Monaco Grand Prix. Was the first Monaco Grand Prix like 1920 or something like that? I think Mushroom was in the crowd. I think he was the checker flag waver. We got Marsky in 13th position, just in front of Reflections. KD in 15th. I think the KD's race rust. This is KD's first race of the season. And I think a bit of race rust. He certainly has the speed there still, doesn't he? With a great 10th position-ish on the grid. But KD there has struggled in the race, but he has come a cropper with Vessier. As Vessier and KD have come to blows. 3 seconds can't be removed, says Serious Russia. As Farfus got a 3-second penalty as well. And sadly for Camaro is off the circuit. What has happened? Where has he gone? He's right off the circuit. And that's a safety car. And my goodness me, I don't know why, but Abu Dhabi always seems to have late safety cars in the races, don't they? And just as Smith Almighty has put up the driver of the day, I think that he might have to rescind that then. It's into the pits, comes Reflection, soft tyres. Gordo got a new nose cone. Irvine's has the cue there, but with the safety car, it shouldn't be too painful. Williams mechanics are in the pits, ready for Vessier, then into the pits on his marks now. Mayran off Duke, Farf and R2 to beat for driver of the day. Get your votes in, ladies and gentlemen. Albeit, I'd actually say wait, because this is going to get very interesting indeed. I'm older than Bernie Ecclestone, says Serious Mushroom. I think you're older than that, Mushroom. Goodness me, don't lie to me. Ashton Army is not coming to pitch yet, but I think that Ashton Army does not. That's a very very good call there from Ashton Army. He does not want to get lapped, because if you get lapped in this game, you'll count your curtains there. Wow, Gotifi strikes again, says Rocket Lee, as Real Ashton's got a 3-second penalty. That's sorry, Real Ashton, I shouldn't have been talking. Into the pits comes May Randolph. This is painful. Look, the Duke. Oh, and look at that. Tori's overtaken Duke coming into the pit lane. Fernando Alonso did that on Felipe Massa did in the 2010 Chinese Grand Prix, but Duke is not going to be too impressed with that. Is that an unsafe release there for the Red Bull? That looked like it. How badly? Oh, how of it's Duke then into the 3-second penalty for R2P. Medium tyres there. I think that's a mistake for Duke as well. That's ideal, says Gordo, as Gordo will be having to replace his front wing. Nigel has stayed out here. Of course, remember that we had someone stay out last night as well, and that is well, Mayronov should be able to get through. Mr. Raging Bull also staying out as well here. Now this is going to get very interesting indeed, and this is not ideal for me, because now I'm going to have to get me old fingers out, don't I? If I think the Constructors' Championship needs a massive swing, doesn't it? But my goodness me, that Abu Dhabi seems so as have late safety cars. Jay Hings has gone hard tyres. That must be a mistake from the Red Bull team. Oh, I swallowed my tongue. Marsky, oh, keep getting in the comments. We got Marsky on the soft tyres. Reflections going soft as well. KD on the soft tyres. Now Real Ashton into the pits as well. No, Mikey, no, Mikey, no, that is so not right, says Serious Mushroom. Oh dear, oh dear. Thank you all involved for an amazing season 9 of Silver, says Nosey. As Nosey has put that in before the anarchy begins for this final leg of the Silver Season 9 Championship, before we celebrate 10 seasons of Silver. And goodness gracious me, and of course the man that was there when it first started was Nosey. Was me as well, but there's also a mushroom in there. There's also a Serious Mushroom in the first race in Russia that season as well. Of course, B. Todd was also in the first race as well, and B. Todd had not raced in this championship for a couple of years now, sadly, a couple of seasons, I should say. And of course, one of my all-time favourites as well, but B. Todd, I don't think got the game in the end, to be honest, which is such a shame that B. Todd was one of the all-time greats. Oh, I remember I stayed out with a late safety car in Abu Dhabi seasons and seasons ago, and ended up crashing on the last lap for the win, says Gordo. And also, use your extra 14 fingers to count, says Andy Warwick Road Andy. Luckily that I needed those extra fingers as well, because the gap is about 13 points at the moment, but I might have to get my own toes out as well. Of course, any of those old foresters, old Buttonies, old farmers, and we have, of course, 12 fingers, 5 thumbs, and 14 toes on the left, and 15 toes on the right. Moscow, says Nosey. Of course, Nosey was certainly there. Did Nosey commentate in Silver on the first race, or was it me? I can't remember, to be honest. I think it might have been me, to be honest. Way back when, actually, I think Silver Season 1 was, because I'm sure it was before COVID as well, and I had to travel. My internet back then was absolutely rubbish, because I used to live in Gloucester, and my internet was absolutely rubbish, and I had to come over to my sister's to borrow her internet every Sunday and Monday, and the neighbours used to think that someone was dying in the living room. It was just me. It was you coming, goodness gracious me, Nosey. We haven't even passed the watershed yet. We've got 28 minutes for that kind of talk as well. So we're just on board with Marianoff. Safety car is Real Ashton there. It's just catch at the back of the Crocodile. Safety car should be in this lap though. We're going to have 2 laps of absolute anarchy, which is great for me, not great for anyone else. Of course, like the stream as well, because it helps the Google Analytics and all that kind of jazz, which is great. Some of the penalty situation. Everyone's been very well behaved. Vestas got 6. Kaidar's got 6 as well. The other drivers with penalties have all got 3 so far. Nigel, goodness me, Nigel with 2 laps then. Can he survive to get on the podium? Can he survive to get some major points there for Nigel? Coming, not the other one, laugh out loud, says Nosey. He's always coming. I'm not sure if that's a slow joke or something else, Mushroom. So let's get on with the show, shall we? And my word, talking of Hamilton and Verstappen in 2021, it feels like that as well. Nigel on the hard tyres, Mayran on the soft tyres, and a brand new set of soft tyres as well. This is going to get very hairy in the final stages of the season. Only one retirement in this race is Cameron, but it's a major retirement in terms of the pace and also in terms of how the outcome of the final race is going to be. We're green, and there's racing to be seen. I stole it all. Oh no! And there's the issues at the back. I think the Tory's gone into the back of the RB, and Mayran is out of the Grand Prix. Flippy up the inside. Can Flippy win this Grand Prix for 20th on the grid? Farfair is getting very cozy with Mr. Raging Bull. Mayran out of the Grand Prix, and Farfair's through up into 6th position here as Mayran is furious up the inside goes the Duke. Contact the Duke is half spun it, and Delundo held his position. Now he got slipstreaming. Nigel still leads the race and no DRS and until the end of this lap, and Tory is now going for the lead. They're down into the chicane there. Also here's Flippy and here's Delundo is running a big breaking point now. Get my old tower off. Mr. Raging Bull has got a 3-second penalty, and Tory's all over the gearbox, but of course so we got to watch out for the penalty situation as well. There is the penalty situation. Nigel, the goodness me, swoop in there, and now Tory has taken the lead. Flippy then is the driver in the ascendancy though, because of course he has no penalties mode. Where the Tory leads, Flippy's up in the 2nd position, Nigel down to 3rd, Delano in 4th position. As we got, I think we had a crocodile of cars there that came the blows as a McLaren there. Touring, unfortunately, of Real Ashton now, and one of there's some blows happening in the McLaren team. As, oh gosh, I have, there's more contact in the background. Farfus over the 4th. Duke is down into 6th position. Mr. Rage going up the inside, not quite. Then one incredible end to the Silver Grand Prix, Silver World Championship. R2B is now in 8th position. Riley is up into 9th as well. Flippy is on course to win. There's me and Salamin short, but Flippy is on course to win his 7th race in a row. That's a new record. Nigel in 3rd. Farfus in 4th position there. But Farfus unfortunately will be on a sinking feeling because Delano and Duke does not have penalties. Mr. Rage up the inside of R2B. R2B has a good, that's contact there. Zeus Alice won the Alpines off sadly, and it's getting all messy in the final stage of this season. Farfus through, but Delano's coming through as well. Delano in 3rd position. He's gaming for 2nd there. The first. Contact between Farf, and they have locked wheels, and Farfus back over the 3rd now. Delano is now in 4th. Flippy still leads this race then, and now we got Duke who's got past over the 4th position. Flippy takes the lead on circuit as well, and now here comes Delano's going to go wide. Duke could be over the 3rd now instead of Delano. My goodness gracious me then, and what an incredible end there. There's damage to one of those Williams cars in the background. That must be Vessier. As now we got Flippy into the final couple of corners of this lap, and actually Tory could finish 2nd here, and now into the final turn as well, and Flippy is going to win his 7th race in a row. He has been undefeated since the British Grand Prix. Flippy wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Wow, what an incredible end there, and Tory got 2nd in the end with Delano in 3rd position. Duke in 4th. What an incredible end to that race that was there. And Flippy has won 7 races in a row, has won 7. His first 7 races he has won in a row. That is never happened before in ALR. And Flippy, from last on the grid, wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. What an end that was there. Great ending. It certainly was indeed that. I'm going to skip the podium. The reason being is because I'll never get the classification. Flippy, 7th win in a row from 20th on the grid. Tory finished 2nd there. Somehow got that 3-second gap in the end then. Delano in 3rd. Duke in 4th with Farf in 5th. Great drive from Farf and Flippy. Nigel, great job from Nigel and R2B 6th and 7th. Jay Hinks 8th. Irvine in 9th position. Marsky gets a point in the top 10 there. Gordo in 11th. Mr. Raging Bull 12th. Riley in 13th with Vessier 14th, Real Ashton 15th, KD in 16th, Reflection 17th, Kyle Allen 18th position. 2 retirements was Camaro and Mayran off, all retired then from this Grand Prix. Absolute joke from Mayran. He is furious, and I think he's furious with Tory, who I'm sure went to the back of it as the race was as the race was green flagged on the second to last lap. And Mayronov, I think, could have won that race as well without that late safety car. Nigel, let's go. Nigel, that's equaled his best result of his season so far for Nigel. That's a great end there to the season. Sadly, sadly though, in terms of the relegation reflections is down, along with Kaidal and Marsky as well, albeit Marsky did have a point at the end there. But unfortunately, it was a bit too late in the end. We got Farf 50% of the vote then for driver of the season. Great stuff indeed. Then I'm not sure if Farf is Farf is still getting the driver of the season because I think the vote is still open. Of course. Oh my word. And well, before we finish, then of course this is my last P15 in silver. That would have been points in bronze there. But real good stuff indeed there from Real Ashton. Of course, I want to thank Smithy, brilliant admin for silver over the past 2 or 3 seasons. Been absolutely magnificent stuff indeed from Smithy. So I must say it's a hard act to follow then in terms of who's going to be taking over admin for Smithy for next season. But goodness me, he's been superb. Favre does get driver of the season there, which is really good stuff indeed. Then, and let's go there to Delando, who is in the commentary booth there. And Delando, I gotta say, you was going for the alternative strategy, and you and Favre had an almighty battle throughout that race. And we'll come to the safety car towards the end there. But what an end to that race that was for yourself. But firstly, why was you starting on the hard tires? Was that the strategy? Did you feel you could win this race today?
That's the only option I could win that race if I had the opportunity, or at least a podium, to be quite frankly, because like I can't trust the mediums from the race start, to be quite frankly. So the only alternative is the hards. The softs is literally a no-go in that sense. So go with the hards and see how he gets on. Funny enough, I managed to pace very well, to be quite frankly, leading up to the pit stop phase, and pretty much grand until Flippy tried not caught up with me, or literally over the back of me. Then a few laps in, the mediums were done, literally done at the time. So that's pretty much it. And the safety car, it's kind of like one of those. To be fair, like could go either way. To be quite frankly,
Could you elaborate on the mediums at the start then when you said you couldn't trust them? Is that getting off the line? Do you get too much wheel spin or not able to get enough temperature on the opening lap for the mediums?
it's more a grip rise in the end of the stint more, and because like the hards we go literally the whole way, like up to around lap 20 or 18, but it's felt like I do have a pace to go onto the medium, try to catch up with them with enough time, but it's like the mediums were gone. In hindsight, I could have gone in a couple laps later in that sense, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
And you did mention about the safety car as well. I'm not because I think the incident was camera racer. Do you feel that that safety car was needless at the end of that race, and potentially that caused you to lose a lot of positions?
It's I don't know. It's like it's pretty much ne- needless or something like that because of the race pans out, and the way of managing the pace was good. But it's like in that sense, it's like it's either or, to be quite frankly.
And I've been saying this season about how consistent you are in silver. You've always been challenging for the championship in the last 3 or 4 seasons in silver, but once again, it's just come up ever so slightly short for you. How would you reflect on your season overall then? Because once again, you've always been there or thereabouts, but coming up short. How frustrating is that, or are you proud of your efforts?
It's kind of like what you call it. I always have pace and like consistency, to be fair, but it's like the qualifying pace. I say people would say I have no pace whatsoever, but in terms of a race scenario, so like it's like a different story. but it's like I'm always like that in league racing. To be quite frankly, I'm not a quality merchant or something like that, but it's more a race scenario that pick me a lot of points along the way. So that's pretty much in terms of race pace or consistency down in that route.
And you're a very experienced driver in Grand Prix racing now. Of course, you've been with us for so long. I
Hmm.
know that we're just doing a lot of theory work as well about F125. But from the rumblings that you've heard about the handling model, about how F125 is, do you think that's going to help next season? Do you feel that you're going to be pushing for championships and Grand Prix wins, or are you feeling a bit concerned about your pace?
It's kind of like you don't know what way F125 going to be like with the handling model with that sense, but it's like what do you call it? F124. Yes, my pace is like severely damaged compared to F123 in that sense because like F123 is pretty much my prime, but it's like F124 is like severely down in pace wise and for myself, but it's going to 25. I don't know. In that sense, it's like you see how you go. So like hopefully the pace improve or not, but it's like in this game, what you call with this handling mode is like not not good from my point of view on the 24 game.
I wish I had your pace on the 24 game, gosh. But even so, what a season though, because runner up again. I think this is the second or third time you've been runner up to silver. Well done, Delando. Delano, I say, not Delando. Goodness me. Well done today. Brilliant job indeed with second position overall. And Flippy, my goodness me, seventh Grand Prix win in a row. My goodness me, you've basically done Hamilton, but for some really, you've instead of winning two and going on for it, you've won seven in a row, and you come from the back of the field as well. During the race, before that safety car came out, I was surmising whether he was going to finish in top five. But before we get into that safety car in the end, how the race overall, then it looked quite challenging out there.
Yeah, it's really challenging. But after I won the championship last week, I knew I was gonna do a last two this week, and I prepped a lot of like overtaking kind of spots and like ERS management and stuff. But yeah, going through the pack was really challenging because you have to be clean and also like not too like not pushing because if not you're not gonna get a position. But yeah, once I got through the pack on the first stint on the mediums, I knew that I had the pace to kind of stick and not lose that much time to the front pack and possibly be in the lead on the second pack. But yeah, the last safety car really saved me, and I think there's an incident when on the restart which helped me win the race as well. But yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, just well, really lucky to be fair on the last safety car incident, and yeah, we take the win, of course, obviously.
I'm throwing you to the wolves here. What was your what was your take on that incident in the final corner? Then did you see it, and could you make a comment on that?
I'm not going to be too controversial. I don't want to get in trouble or anything, but I think it was the Red Bull pushed off Miranov in the V Cup, and I think it was the McLaren at the front who restarted twice. I think he went mid corner out of the last turn, and they just broke before the line, and that kind of maybe caused the Red Bull to kind of react into hitting Miranov, and I just benefited from that like tremendously, and yeah.
I'm just a stirrer. I love it. But that's what I said as well. I thought that the Red Bull went to back of the RB, and which is a shame then. But it didn't matter for you because that was absolutely brilliant stuff. And then when you seen that happen, then did you feel that this race is on now? Because you even knew about the penalties around you as well. Was you close to getting a 3 second penalty, and or was it all like fine and dandy?
I think I was on one warning for the whole race, so I could have pushed on the last two laps on the soft, which is really handy. And yeah, once I saw the Miranov, who I believe is the fastest in the pack, and Duke as well, got taken out, and I knew that the win is on. I just have to get past the McLaren cleanly without damaging my wing or without losing that much time to the other Red Bull. So yeah, just have to the first lap after the race. I was everything. I got past the McLaren on the I don't know what turn that is, the long left hander cleanly. thankfully. And yeah, and I knew from then on I basically won the race because of the DRS games.
And overall in the season, and of course, since your incredible winning streak, you've been absolutely on top. And what has been the highlight of your season? Of course, winning the championship last week might be up there, but what is your highlight of your season, and what is your best race? It might be two different things, to be honest.
Um, wise, it's definitely last week as I won the championship. But I think I said last week Silverstone was my best performance in the season. But after today, it's definitely today. Last to first, and my first attempt as well in a league race, which really went kind of. I wasn't expecting to even be in the top 10 before the race started. To be fair, but yeah, it's just I just kind of got lucky, and I'll take this win, of course. Yeah.
I thought it might have changed actually after today's race. Brilliant stuff it did. And of course, one more query as well. We've been asking drivers about their opinions on F125. Again, like with Delano, I was saying it's a bit of a theory, but what are you feeling? What are you feeling in F125 from your expert opinion? Are you feeling confident about going forward with F125 and maybe keeping up this incredible win rate?
I think that they haven't released much gameplay trailers or information yet, but I've heard from because they did some beta trials before, and I've got some friends that did it before, and I think they said F124 setups are really it's not bad on 25, which is probably a plus for the start of the game, but yeah, I'm not really because I started playing F1 games last game, and I didn't really have like experience in the transition between two games. So yeah, I can't really give much take on that. Sorry.
No, that's no problem at all. Well done today, Flippy. What a job indeed. What a season as well. You've absolutely transformed the second half of the season with an incredible win rate, winning 7 in a row. Flippy is your silver champion for season 9. Fantastic stuff indeed. And that is going to be it then for silver for this season. And what an incredible season it's been then. As I mentioned at the beginning of the season, this was going to be a season where I was very much at the edge there because we had no idea what was going to happen. And goodness me, it certainly transpired to be something completely different. Fantastic Sunday. Going into a new era, Silver, next season, of course, with two admins in the form of Ultimate Beast and Kiki will be taking the helms, and so that's going to be interesting stuff indeed. Of course, all the information will be, of course, on the announcements and all that kind of stuff. Cannot wait for that. As I mentioned already, Smithy Almighty has been brilliant in the last 2 seasons or so, and of course, you will not escape Smithy because he will be driving in bronze next season. That is it then for Silver. Tomorrow night is bronze, and we got a championship to decide. It is between Luke. It is between Dan. Who is going to be the bronze season 9 champion? It's going to be fantastic. Join Knowlesy tomorrow. One more showdown. One more race on F1 2024 of ALR. 7:30 tomorrow. Goodbye.